call all praise to y'all by Shimmy Shash, brother Azaba Yalif.
Brother Aharon.
Coming back at you again with another cold cut through the spirit. All praises and honor to Yahweh by Shimmy Shad. We're gonna get into it. Let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 62 and verse 6. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace, day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence. The Lord said, if we're making mention of his name, we can't keep silence. Now that's not circumstantial. That doesn't mean when all your bills has been paid, then you start making mention of the Lord. That doesn't mean when your rent has finally been paid, that balance comes out to 0.00, and now, okay, I have time to make the Lord's praise in the earth, man. Make mention of his name. That's not what that means. It's not circumstantial. You have to do this at all points in your life. And it says, verse number 7, and give him no rest till he establish, until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. He said, give him no rest. That's a commandment. We have to keep confessing Yahweh Bashim Yahshua on earth. We got to keep exhorting. We have to keep teaching. We have to keep doing videos. We got to keep doing whatever we need to do to make our calling and election sure. And again, that doesn't mean when all your bills been paid up, things are going well in your life, it's finally 70 degrees, and you feel like you can go out and do the work. No, that's in the cold. That's in the hot. That's when you're uncomfortable. Somebody died. Guess what? Your car got stolen. Doesn't matter. You still got to do the work of the Lord at all points in time. You can't stop. It's 1 Corinthians chapter 16 and verse 15. I beseech you, brethren, ye know that the house of Stephanus, that is the first fruits of Achaia, and that they have addicted themselves to the ministry of the saints. And what does it look like to be addicted to something? You think since a so-called crackhead has a bad day, he's still not gonna find his crack, man? He gonna find what he needs to find to get through, right, to do what he needs to do. Right. You have to do that way. You have to be that way in the truth. It's not circumstantial. When something happens, oh damn, I don't got no money today. I guess no crack today. That's the mentality of a so-called drug addict, man. How much more if we're addicts for Yahweh Shem Yahushua? No matter what point in time we are in our life, you have to serve the Most High, and you can't stop. You have to keep going. Right. This building is going to keep going with or without you. Right? Let's get a precept. We have to keep going. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 15. You have to keep abounding. It's 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse number 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. The Lord said always abounding in the work of the Lord. For as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. Let's go to the book of 1 Chronicles chapter 9 and verse 33. It's 1 Chronicles 9 and verse 33. And these are the singers, chief of the fathers of the Levites, who remaining in the chambers were free, for they were employed in that work day and night. So day and night, you had our forefathers, you even had the Levites, man, that was employed in their work every single day. Let's see how often. Let's go to the book of 1 Chronicles 16 and verse 37. So he left, therefore, before the ark of the covenant of the Lord, Asaph and his brethren, to minister before the ark continually, as every day's work required. And we're in the flesh. They were in the flesh. You don't think they got sick? You don't think their nose was running sometimes? Right. Damn chest was hurting some mornings. They didn't want to get up. They didn't want to do their course, man. They still had to do what they had to do, or they were gonna die. Is it that serious for you, where if you don't do the work of the Lord, you know you're not gonna die? Your mindset has to be changed. You have to do this work continually. The first sign of trial and tribulation is happening to you. You don't just put down the work of the Lord, man. You have to continue to keep going, but you got it.
Yeah, there's really no stopping in this truth, man. There's no off days. See, in sports, you got an off season, right? Even fighters, even sports that don't have an off season, like these UFC fighters and these boxers, even after a fight, they may take 2 months off, right? They may take a break, go party, go clubbing, right? You can't keep the Sabbath day, then after that, then go back to your old ways, right? Go back to being idle. Right? But every Saturday, you're the mighty man, right? You're the teacher. You're the counselor. You're the priest, right? Let's get the book of Philippians real quick. There's really no excuses, right? Let's go to Philippians chapter 1 and verse number 19. This is Philippians chapter 1, verse 19. It says, for I know that this, shall turn to my salvation through your prayer and the supply of the Spirit of Yahweh Mashiach, according to my earnest expectation and my hope, that in nothing I shall be ashamed, but that with all boldness, as always, so now also Hamashiach shall be magnified in my body, whether it be by life or by death, right? So, hey, some men, they're gonna let death prevent them, right? And death doesn't even present man in Israel, the modern day Israelite, on a weekly basis or even on a daily basis. Yet you're giving up, yet you're taking breaks, yet you're having off days, and even you have these moments throughout the day, these little spurts of you being idle, right? You not doing the work. So it's always ways to increase, right? Let's get this in the book of Romans chapter 8 and verse number 35. It says, who shall separate us from the love of Hamashiach? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or peril or sword, right? What's going to separate you from the love of the Most High? Doing his work, right? Being fervent, being always on fire the way that he commanded us to be, like how our forefathers were. It says, I'm going to jump down to verse 37. It says, nay, in all these things, we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. For I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come. Jake is worried about things to come, right? You have anxiety, depression. Your worries is things upon this earth, right? When you should be worrying about the kingdom. You should be worrying about your people. You should be worrying about your household. You should be worrying about your spirit. It says, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of God, which is in Hamashiach Yahushua, our Lord. So there's actually no excuses. Nothing shall separate you from the love of Hamashiach, man. Let's get this in the book of Luke, right? Actually, I'm going to go to Romans real quick. Let's go to Romans chapter 8. Well, actually, no, I'm going to go to Luke first. Let's go to the book of Luke, chapter 14. Right, this is the book of Luke, chapter 14, and verse number 16, right? It says, then said he unto him, a certain man made a great supper and bade many, and sent his servant at supper time to say to them that were bidden, come, for all things are now ready. And they all with one consent began to make excuse, right? There's no reason for you to make any excuses. The Lord literally said, and even Paul, not even death was going to prevent him from serving the Most High God. Not even death. And nobody today, most Israelites can honestly say that they encounter death on a daily or a weekly basis. So what's holding you back? And what's stopping you? Is it your mind? Is it your family? Is it the doubts, the things to come? What is holding you back from serving the Lord every single day, man, and being on fire? What excuses are you making? That's why we got to examine ourselves. It says, the first said unto him, I have bought a piece of ground, and I must needs go and see it. I pray thee, have me excused. And another said, I have bought 5 yoke of oxen, and I go to prove them. I pray thee, have me excused. And another said, I married a wife, and therefore I cannot come. So that servant came and shewed his lord these things. Then the master of the house, being angry, said to his servant. So you make the Lord angry when you make a bunch of excuses, man. You make the Lord angry. You're pissing the Lord off because he gave you everlasting life, took you out of darkness, out of the world, right? Cleanse you from your sin. And how do you repay him? By being idle, by making excuses. It says, right, being angry said to his servant, go out quickly into the streets. Quickly, right? Meaning you got to do this with haste. You got to do this like this is your last day. It says, quickly into the streets and lanes of the city, are bringing hither the poor and the maimed and the halt and the blind. And the servant said, Lord, it is done as thou hast commanded, and yet there is room, right? So seeing that our people are poor, they're blind, they're out here lost in the midst of darkness, what are you doing making excuses? What are you doing taking days off? What are you doing not moving towards the Lord with haste? Right? Let's get the book of Romans now. Chapter 2. There's absolutely no excuses for you to not do the work, not be on fire, right? To stop at any moment. There is no stop. There is no off days. There is no off season, right? This isn't basketball. right? This is the book of Romans chapter 2 and verse number 1. It says, therefore, thou art inexcusable, old man. So the Lord already told you, you're inexcusable, right? Hold yourself accountable and stay on fire in this truth. The Lord doesn't ask a lot from us. The Lord gave you everything. The Lord could have left you in the darkness in the world. Yet he chose you out of the world to be meat unto him, to be meat for the kingdom. So what are you going to do about it? All right, let's go to the book of John real quick. You should be thanking the Lord, man. We got to repay him, right? Let's actually get the book of Psalms, chapter 29. Right, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 29. Come on. This book of Psalms, chapter 29, and verse number 1. It says, give unto the Lord, O ye mighty. Give unto the Lord glory and strength. Give unto the Lord the glory due unto his name. Worship Yahweh in the beauty of holiness, right? So you should be giving unto the Lord, right? Sacrifices that are meat, right? You should be giving unto the Lord every single day. There's nothing that the Lord owes you. There's nothing that the Lord owes me, right? So what are we doing taking breaks, man? There is no stop. There is no quit in this truth, man. You got it, King.
Come. All praise. You get this precept. And it goes back into a lack of faith as well. This is the book of Luke chapter 18 and verse number 8. I tell you that he will avenge him speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth? Why did the Lord have to ask that? The Lord had to ask that because there was going to be a lot of trials and tribulations that were happening during that time. That certain men, he didn't know if they would have faith or not, because the first thing they're going to put down is the Lord. I mean, you see a little glimpse of that now. The first thing that you get hit with, some trials and tribulations, you're not even in an hour of temptation.
Right.
Your family didn't start dying yet, man.
Right.
They didn't start kicking in doors. They didn't start burning Bibles. They didn't start throwing you in the back of FEMA trucks, man. Bombs didn't start hitting the earth, earthquakes, and then you still can go to your grocery store and there's food. You can still order some food on your phone right now, like right now. What do you've putting down the Lord because you have some problems going on?
Right.
Some carnal minor problems going on that the rest of the people in the world, even that's not in this truth, go through. Come on, man. That you have to be a little bit more mature. You have to be a little bit more. You gotta be better than that. Let's just say that. You can't put down Yahweh Shem Yahushua because of things that you're going through, man. That's why the Lord said, nevertheless, shall he find faith on the earth? Or the Lord wouldn't have to ask that. You're gonna have things that try and test your faith in this truth. That's the point of being tried in this truth. Let me go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 9. All right, let's go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 9. And let's start at verse. Let's see what we want. You have to be tried in this truth. Jeremiah 9 and 7. Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, I will melt them and try them. For how shall I do for the daughter of my people? So the Lord's going to try you, man. The Lord's going to make sure he tests your faith.
Right.
That it needs to be where it's at. And if you find yourself putting down the work of the Lord to handle carnal problems that the Lord gave you, which is backwards, then you need to check your faith, man. You need to get back in these precepts. You need to keep going as hard as you can, no matter what the circumstances is. We all got problems, man. We all got damn trials and tribulations we're going through, whether it be your household, whether it be you, whether it be another brother. Hey, who knows? But we know that, hey, guess what? We still have to do the work of the Most High. This doesn't stop. This temple is not about us. It's about Yahweh Shem Yahushua and his people.
Right.
Let's go to Ephesians chapter 2. This temple is not about you. You're called to help build up the temple for the Most High. So now that Satan has thrown you personal problems, you focus on yourself before the temple of the Lord. That's idolatry. That's Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 20. And are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets, Yahushua HaMashiach himself being the chief cornerstone, in whom all the building fitly framed together groweth unto a holy temple in the Lord, in whom you also are builded together for a habitation of God through the Spirit, and his Spirit have gathered us. So when you start focusing on yourself and focusing on things that you have to deal with other than the temple of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you by default make yourself an idol, man. And that's what Satan does. You can't make it. Yes,
Yeah. Why should the work cease?
Yeah. Why does the work have to stop because you were late on your rent? Why can't we go out to camp because your car broke down? Why can't we figure out some other way, man? Like we said, hey, a drug addict gonna get what he want. How much more us at the end of the day, man? We trying to get up. Aren't you trying to get up out of here? then prove it. We got to get up out of here. So let's do what it needs to take to get up out of here. With that, we'd like to give all honor and glory and praise to Yahweh in the name of Son Yahushua, been a mighty strong. Shalom.
Shalom.